Okay, welcome to Studio 15, and I'll be taking your long-term classes for biology for NEET. And remember that when we are talking in terms of biology, when you're dealing with relation to biology, biology encompasses plants, it encompasses animals, microbes, and also humans. So primarily the sort of a NEET examination tests you for what's your good knowledge on, what are your strengths on biology for plants, animals, microbes and humans. And basically when you're looking at in terms of biology, we are going to deal with relation to the science of life. You're understanding that, see, what happens is your conceptual foundations for preparing for a competitive examination is very, very important. So we need to look at the science of life. We need to look at the science of life processes. life processes, and also primarily about maybe the life characters. We have to look at the life characteristics. So biology is a study of life processes, and also the sort of a diversity. Remember, it also refers to diversity. So we need to look at diversity. We need to look in terms of life processes and basically the sort of a characters. So primarily, most of the time when you're reading in for biology, please stick on, we'll all be sticking to the sort of an NCERT book. It's the only book, and we've got 2 volumes on them, and we've got about some 36 chapters to go. And definitely what happens is, those of you who have got less marks, you would have been disheartened on time, because maybe your scores are wrong or something like that. But what is it that we are trying to address now? See, remember, when you are on a long term, oh boy, wait a bit. When you are on a long term, you can use it as an advantage because there are no board exams. Remember, there are no board exams for you. There's no practicals. And you have all the time in the world for going in for taking a sort of a drop. But the sad part of it is, you will not be having any sort of a schedule like as you had in the college. The schedules of the college and the pattern of the college would be very much different. But however, we are at a big sort of an advantage because you are very much focused now. You can be more focused and you can be terribly passionate about learning for biology. So, how does it really go about? It really goes about this way, in a sense, that when we are talking in terms of, oh God, where did we go? When we are dealing with relation to biology, more specifically botany, you understand the core of the NEET examinations revolves around cell biology. So cell biology is a very important sort of a topic, and again you got molecular biology. Which again plays a very, very important role with relation to questions. Parallel to that, you also have genetics. So genetics, molecular biology and cell biology along with evolution forms an important this is one important work area where you're going to be terribly strong. Now, when you're reading on cell biology, it is implied that you have to have the basics of biochemistry should be very, very good. The basics of biochemistry should be very good. We are dealing with relation to DNAs, again RNAs, again the sort of proteins, again the proteins, the enzymes, and metabolic pathways which are part of physiology. We are dealing with relation to metabolism, that is physiology. So in short, you need to be very good on cell and molecular physiology. So we are cutting across the topics and thinking in terms of where are our sort of limitations. So the biggest limitation is most of the students could be finding this sort of a place, this is a very, very difficult sort of a place, and maybe your fundamentals could have gone wrong. Your fundamentals could have been really wrong. Supposing there's a question on DNA replication or something on gene regulation or something related to like transformation experiments, what are transduction experiments, you could always be going wrong with relation to the even the gene fine structure, etc. So we need to primarily strengthen this particular element which is called as the cell biology, molecular biology and the genetics block, which is very, very important. Now, the second important block where you got to primarily be very good at is you got to be very good with relation to the chapter on ecology. The last of the chapters which is called as ecology. So when you're reading on ecology, ecology deals with biodiversity, it deals with populations, and it also deals with populations as well as organisms. It deals with biodiversity, it deals with conservation, and it also deals with environmental issues. Now, this is one particular area where normally what happens is students take it for granted because you have been reading ecology and environmental sciences right from the 8th class. But there's a strongest point is you can get about some 8 questions from here. You can get some 8 questions from here. So that could be one important area, ecology. Now ecology, what happens is, when you take ecology always should be linked with taxonomy. Taxonomy and diversity. So taxonomy, diversity and ecology forms the second important core. It forms the second important core. So it's just like we are making in a lot of ammunition primarily for the sort of a war. It's a second war and you're going to be very sure of, so your focus is very strong. I think you never thought like this before in a sense that ecology is one very important field, and again cell biology, molecular biology and primarily genetics forms one very important field. Now looking back on things, again you understand that physiology plays a very important role. So we are looking at biology in terms of cell biology. Cell biology is one entry point. Remember, whenever you are reading biology, supposing you are reading biology, it has got several doors. The best door to open is called as cell biology. So you can read plant biology, animal biology, microbial biology, everything via cell biology. And the next important door which can open up is primarily called as ecology. Interrelations. You're talking about interrelationships. So again, we have primarily the most important place where you need to focus is called as physiology. Now when you're talking about physiology, we have a big core from plant physiology. We got again animal physiology. And again we have got primarily human physiology. And again we have got microbial physiology. We got microbial physiology. So physiology forms the next block in which you primarily have to be really good at primarily solving out problems, because it's the basis for a lot of things. So coming back, we had one block. Hey, what happened? Okay. So coming back, we had one block called cell biology, which all of you should be very good at. Now, cell biology primarily, yeah, Shravani? Okay, connecting. So cell biology forms the basis for the study of molecular biology. It forms the basis for study of molecular biology. Now, cell biology and molecular biology need to be connected to another sort of a very important block which is called as genetics. So, your fundamentals of cell biology, molecular biology and genetics should be very, very strong. And this in turn, because you're reading on cell biology, it should be connected to physiology. Physiology primarily deals with metabolism. Remember that. It deals with metabolism. So while we are reading on metabolism, it's very, very important that even your biochemical foundations or biochemistry should be very, very strong. So this entire thing of cell biology, molecular biology, genetics, biochemistry and physiology forms a very important block for your next run for say NEET 2022. It's very, very important. Now parallel to this, you also have diversity. You also have diversity coming in. Now diversity relates to plant, animal, microbial and human biodiversity. So we are talking about variability, diversity, structural adaptations, classifications. So diversity and taxonomy need to go together. I mean, we have to primarily rearrange, we are going to do a lot of rethinking about how we are trying to hit the sort of primarily how to hit out with relation to the sort of an examination. So it is diversity and taxonomy put together. Then we go to a familiar morphology and anatomy, which are the traditional sciences. We got morphology and anatomy together. So we have got it in different blocks, and again we have got even reproduction in a block. So they can also be the molecular basis of reproduction, the genetic basis of reproduction. Reproduction is another block. Now reproduction primarily should be linked to genetics. Your knowledge of reproduction should be linked to genetics. So that leaves you primarily with relation to applications of cell biology, molecular biology and genetics in everyday life. So from here what happens is you need to primarily understand how do you read biotechnology. So you read about primarily the application, the principles here. So for all of these what happens is we need to know the principles. We need to know the knowledge. We need to more so do the understanding, looking at all MCQs, and you also need to know about the applications. You also need to know about the applications of all these particular fields. So primarily it's a big run in a sense, like given your matrix of given the matrix of we have 36 chapters in all. We have 36 chapters in biology, and given the 36 chapters, we understand that more than 60% of the chapters are from botany. So your basic concepts, from each particular chapter, you should understand the basic concepts. So it is primarily how you understand issues and how you understand the sort of sub-issues in a particular chapter. The issues and the sub-issues in any particular chapter beyond line-by-line reading. Line-by-line reading is one thing, which is good primarily, but you got to understand the meaning between the lines of the NCERT book. So how do we really think about all these things? You got to primarily think in terms of all these things in different ways. That okay, we follow the NCERT book in toto. We follow the NCERT book in toto. We go by the readings of the chapters. We go by the marking of the concepts. We learn it through definitions. We learn it through examples. We look at through which are the best top MCQs which you can ever encounter down here. Which are the best MCQs which you can ever encounter down here. And at the same time, when you take in the sort of a concepts, we are going to make a lot of flow maps. We are going to make a lot of flow maps on the concepts, and we need to connect the dots. We need to connect the dots. So it's going to be like approximately like we have got 30, when you have 36 chapters, it's going to be a very long ride. Primarily, I think we have to devote approximately a chapter a week. You primarily take a chapter a week, and we don't have to really start off with relation to living world. Like when you take, let's look at how it goes out with relation to your textbook. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So we have one block. We have one block which shows diversity. Now, diversity primarily includes, as you understand, it includes the living world, the biological classification, the plant kingdom. Fine. Then we also have the morphology of plants. We also have the morphology of plants and the anatomy of plants. No big deal about morphology and anatomy. They are very easy chapters. But taking in diversity as such, when you're taking in diversity, when you take chapter number 1, we need to focus on certain things like, say, taxonomical categories, taxonomical aids, and primarily about keys and all that. That's where the core of the questions come in. So our objective should be is primarily where do we have to really hunt on to in the sort of a chapter. So we have chapter 1, which is primarily living world. Then in chapter 2, when you go to chapter 2, which is biological classification. So living world is quite easy. It's not a great chapter. And when you go to chapter 2, that is biological classification. In biological classification, the focus should be on the 5 kingdom classification of Whittaker. And again, the focus should be on the domain classification. We need to know everything about kingdom Monera. We need to know everything about kingdom Protista in detail. We need to know everything on fungi. And again on viruses, viroids, and prions. So the chapter you got to primarily you got to devote a lot of time, maybe a class on 5K, maybe a class on 5K. Then you got to go on the domains classification, which is extremely important. It's extremely important that we go on the domain classification. So every chapter by chapter, what happens is, every chapter by chapter, what we need to do is, we need to prioritize. You know, that's very important, that we know how to prioritize. In a chapter, we need to prioritize what are the sort of concepts. What are the sub-concepts? What are the sub-concepts? From where do the questions come, primarily in a NEET examination? And why do these questions come? I mean, it's not like, supposing you're a good student of science, if you're a good student of science, you can very clearly mark out which are the questions which you can expect. I'm not saying we need to go on a guesswork, but exactly you know, I mean, your gut feeling will say this is the sort of a question which is going to come. That's how we are going to handle it. We are going to handle it without all the sort of a pomp and show, you know. It's just a straight talk, and primarily you should just be convinced about how to go about things. So we need to prioritize on a chapter. We should do a lot of things called as what is called as concept building, and maybe we should have a sort of a mini quiz. We go through a mini quiz here on every particular chapter. We go through a mini quiz, or supposing we got hold on, like supposing I just say what are life characters, and you say just 5 life characters or 4 or 5 defining characters. Then supposing you ask a question, supposing you get a meteorite from outer space, how could you define life on that? So these are the sort of questions which primarily we need to ask ourselves. I mean, even we need to focus on all this, because these are the areas primarily the mind should open up with relation to concepts. It's not by hearting chapter by chapter. Please remember this. It's not by hearting chapter by chapter. It's not reading NCERT line by line as it is, but knowing the meanings between the lines of the chapter, which is very, very important. So the total strategy of how we are going to go about is totally different. It's primarily, we got to go through in a very, very different sort of a way. So now let's look at, okay. Yeah. So we have the NCERT book. We need to develop the concepts. We need to develop the concepts. We need to identify the MCQs. We need to identify which are all the important MCQs. Oops, this is not working. We need to identify which are all the MCQs. And we need to have a good account with relation to what are the terms in the chapter. What is happening? What are the terms in the chapter? Oops, what's happening? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how to go over this, but either way, okay. I mean, okay. You got a space background for a biology class. It's very funny. So the way it goes is this way. Let me tell you this. It's going to be a tough ride, but we can be very much focused, because we can be reading it according to the NCERT book. I think that's better, because you'll try to primarily sync in line with relation to the sort of a textbook. We'll be going chapter wise, page wise, concept wise, looking at keywords, asking questions as we go by, checking out the sort of questions that come in the previous 30 years. What could be the sort of a trend questions, and knowing the concepts inside out, that's very important. Like, unlike the way how you have been reading maybe in a +2, wherein what happens is you had all the pressure of the boards, pressure of the labs. Now, when you're going in for a sort of a long-term course, you have all the time in the world. And it's better to, you're more focused. That's what I think clarity is a rarity, and you need to be very clear on what you want to do. So you can focus on maybe like which are all the important areas, the goal areas wherein you can get the best of the questions. The best of the questions you get from the plant kingdom. Then you got the cell biology. Very important is the cell cycle and cell division. Again, very important is the biomolecules, because the entire block of cell biology, you're going linking up to genetics on one side and molecular biology on the other side and biotechnology on the other side. And from the next angle, you're taking cell biology block and you're linking it to physiology block. Either whether it be plant physiology or animal physiology. Then when it comes to physiology, what we are doing is, we are basically taking off plant physiology and dividing it into two blocks, two very important blocks. Stage 1 is what is called as transport mineral nutrition, and along with that we are going to read plant growth and regulation. The reason why we are going to learn about this is, we are talking about ions, we are talking about molecules, we are talking about cells and cell and metabolism. Primarily comes on transport, then again on mineral nutrition, and also on plant growth, development, differentiation. So that is block A of plant physiology, which deals with primarily developmental botany. Then we go to the block 2. The block 2 primarily takes in on photosynthesis, big way, and then you got respiration and also enzymes. We take up the part of biomolecules that is called as enzymes, photosynthesis and enzymes, respiration and enzymes, photosynthesis and respiration. That's the big block, big chunk what you're going to read in plant physiology. So that way what happens is, always the focus is the NCERT first year book. The NCERT first year book is the priority of priorities. I mean, it's the most important book primarily because it's been written by a group of well-read scientists and authors. And NCERT's second year book is primarily related to a little bit of applications. So it starts off with the chapter of reproduction and sexual reproduction in higher plants, which is not that very tough because you've already been reading at schools. Remember, you've been reading at schools on reproduction in organisms and all that. I hope we get back to things. No? Oh God. So primarily what happens is, you got reproduction in organisms, then sexual reproduction in plants, and then you got human reproduction. So reproduction forms the basis for genetics. So that's how the connect goes. Between reproduction, you got on one side you got embryology, that is sexual reproduction in plants, you got embryology. Embryology and primarily reproduction, embryology and genetics. This should primarily be linked to the last chapter on the strategies of food production, which is primarily called as plant tissue culture. That's a very, very important sort of link. So I'm making you understand where exactly are the linkages, and these are the places where the linkages of these particular chapters occur. These are the places where the questions can come in. So we have primarily reproduction, we got genetics, and then we got plant tissue culture as one block. So that leaves us with primarily classical genetics and modern genetics, So when you take the classical genetics deals with Mendelism. I'm giving you an overview, I'm giving you a sort of a bird's eye view of your entire syllabus and how the concepts are going to run, So we have primarily, we have got the classical genetics. The classical genetics deals with Mendelism, monohybrid and dihybrid crosses. Then it also deals with linkage, it deals with mitosis. You got in cell cycle, you got mitosis and meiosis. The cell cycle block of mitosis and meiosis lead to be linked to genetics here. And thereby what happens is you also learn little bit of the chromosomes from cell biology down here. So we are into the chapter of genetics, and in the chapter of genetics and classical genetics, we learn about Mendelism. You learn about chromosomes, you learn about mutations, and you learn about some two very important concepts in plant sciences called linkage and crossing over. So linkage and crossing over, after that we have got mutations, fine. This forms one bind for the plant sciences. Next we go into microbial genetics, and in microbial genetics you read about transformation, you read about transduction and conjugation. That's the second thing, the second level 2 of the chapter of genetics. Then you got human genetics, pedigree analysis and chromosomal errors, and you got the Human Genome Project. So you need to be short primarily with relation to cell biology and genetics, and parallelly you got to be reading a lot of things on plant physiology. Even in a chapter, even if you take a simple chapter of plant physiology, there are so many, you got to dive deep into the concepts and the sub-concepts and know how they are connected. And while you are learning, you need to primarily be very attentive. It's not like, maybe it's just like we are doing a little bit of fresh thinking, the way how we are going to look at it from a different perspective. I'm giving you a totally different perspective, primarily I think, I mean, this sort of a perspective is essential for any normal, good, healthy student. For a normal student also, you can get that 640 or 600 or 720, provided you get your sort of 180s in your biologies. 45 into 2 is 90, 45 into 2 is 9. 180 is a sort of a game which you can very easily get that particular 180 marks. Now next we are going into the, if you are going into the chapter of, say, molecular base of inheritance. If you go into the molecular base of inheritance, it primarily deals with DNA, discoveries of DNA, which are all from bacteria and viruses. So again we have primarily microbial genetics overlay. We have transformation, transduction, yeah, all those particular things. Then we need to go about with relation to knowing about the gene fine structure. So the molecular biology of the cell and the molecular biology of the gene are two important concepts which primarily any student of NEET who is going for NEET should know it better. I mean, these are the sort of weak linkages which normally a student going in for a sort of a NEET examination, I mean he has it with him, he or her has it with her. So you need to primarily understand gene regulation, you need to understand transmission genetics. Then later on we are going to be very good at molecular biology. We are going to need to be very good at molecular biology. That's very, very important. So in molecular biology, you got to know about the fine structure of the gene, you got to know what is an exon, you got to know what's an intron, you got to know what is transcription, what is translation, and what is gene regulation. That forms the sort of a core. So most of our time, what we are going to do is most of our time we are going to dwell on the most important topics. The most important, the core topics which decides your NEET, or the core topics for a career in biology are cell biology, molecular biology and genetics on one side, diversity on the other side, reproduction on the other side, as of now. And later on what happens is after the molecular biology we enter into the biotechnology field. So biotechnology, microbes and strategies come into the application side. So again, when you're going on molecular biology, which is basically a technique, which involves techniques, and biotechnology involves a lot of principles just like physics, we are trying to understand what is the physics, what are the basic principles of biotechnology, how to use a restriction enzyme. So your knowledge of enzymes is very important there. Your knowledge of what the DNA is made up of is very important there. And you should exactly know what are the rules of the different sort of an enzyme, which is the sort of a sequence. And you should also be knowing about some basic techniques like what is meant by a PCR. You should know what is meant by a gel electrophoresis, what is the principle of the gel electrophoresis. So it is not like as if, we are caught on a very small book of NCERT. The NCERT is a sort of the NCERT textbook and the 2 volumes of the textbook are something like they show the light. To where to go about and how do you go about. It's not doing foolish questions which are very important. It's like how do we really take in the sort of a dynamic questions. Questions which can enable you to think, We are going on, we'll be primarily looking in terms of how do you cluster concepts, clustering concepts and looking at what sort of questions are going to come from there. That's very, very important. What sort of questions come from there. So we have the entire block of modern biology, that is from genetics onwards. We have classical genetics and reproduction, which comes under reproduction. Then we have got anatomy and embryology on one side, and we have got plant physiology on the other side and diversity on the other side, as of now. That leaves us with a very more important, powerful, concept related to ecology, Now, ecology is not as easy as like what is an ecosystem, what's a community. Those questions don't come. You're going to know more things like what is called a sort of an ecological niche, what is called a sort of a guild, what is a food web, what is a food chain, and you got to know how do you make an ecosystem, how do you say that ecosystem is a basic unit of sustainability. So we are talking in terms of conservation, we are talking in terms of biodiversity, we are talking in terms of conservation of national parks, conservation of biosphere reserves, and so many other things. And to the best of my knowledge, I presume that all the people who ever are going to ask you on questions, the questions are not really, honestly, they're not fused up, they're not fused up, they're basic questions. They are only basic questions which come primarily based on certain concepts. And these concepts are fundamental, they are the basics. So if the main objective of a sort of a competitive examination is they want to test on what are called your sort of a basics. So that leaves us with the sort of a next question as what more you need to read other than your NCERT books. The more which you're going to read other than your NCERT books are the sort of there could be some sort of an add-on concepts, there could be some add-on issues, and primarily there could be a little bit of higher level of thinking, which again is not so very complicated at all, because once you know the basics, it's very easy to handle them. So that goes by the sort of a saying that we need to have a sort of a strategy. We need to have a sort of a plan of execution. And we need to be quite fast at certain things and quite slow at certain things. We are going to be quite cautious at certain things, because you need to again remember all the sort of a diagrams which are present in your books. The diagrams, the labelings. See, just a simple thing like they say primarily if you take the chapter 1, they say there's a line which says that biology is a science of study of life. It says biology is a study of life, that's wrong. Biology is a scientific study of life. The scientific study, you got a scientific method to study life. And it's also a study of life processes. Biology is a study of life and life processes. And also it's also a study of primarily about the diversity of life, that is the variety and variability of life forms. Now we have got a very staggering amount of life forms. I mean, right, if you take plants, animals and microbes, right from the Western Ghats, right from the tropical rainforest to the polar caps, all through the world, what happens is we have got amazing diversity. And diversity exists at different levels. It can exist at the genetic level. You're going to get your sequences of your DNA, RNA and proteins could be very, very different. It could be at the molecular level or the genetic level. Diversity can be at the species level, species level diversity. And it can also be at the population level. It can also be at the population level and the ecosystem level. So, I mean, when we are handling a sort of a subject like diversity, you have to have all the sort of an enthusiasm even to read. It's not like you could read in a very boring way. There are ways of how you can primarily inculcate towards learning the concepts properly. So definitely what happens is a second run or a sort of a drop and a long-term program is not a sort of it's not a sort of a limitation. I would say it's not a limitation at all. It's a very good advantage, or it's a very good flip towards better careers in biology. I mean, honestly speaking, with relation to medicine, because the future of medicine primarily runs on. The future of medicine runs on. It runs on primary cell biology for cancer. It runs on molecular biology for recombinant DNA vaccines, etc. And it primarily runs on biotechnology also for various sort of drugs. And it also runs on nanotechnology. Now, nanotechnology is primarily the basis primarily for robotics, and also for all sort of operations and all that. And again, same thing, same way if you take into consideration in medicine or into agriculture. You take agriculture and related fields, again you got primarily, genetically modified crops, and you got different sort of crop products, plant products, and at the same time you got even natural products, natural resource management. So we have got a wide gamut. This is primarily an age of biology. 21st century is the age of biology and the era of progenomics. And remember progenomics, like 1900 was Mendel, 1953 was Watson and Crick, and again 2000 was the Human Genome Project. So it's very, very important that while you're reading on chapters again, when you're reading on the chapters, it's very important that you need to have you need to build up on a sort of a historical line. A historical line is very, very important. You got to have a sort of a historical time scale. And when you take on a historical time scale, definitely what happens is you need to have, know about what is meant by discoveries. You need to know about different other sort of things. So I think primarily because the board is not working in, I don't know how to handle this as of now. Oh God. So I'll just be stopping down here and let's see what we can do. Okay then, thank you. Because I think it should be, maybe next class we could just be getting into the groove of how to read up with relation to things. Okay, any doubts? I don't know if anybody got any doubts. Just hold on, just a minute. Hello. Who's here? How do I on the board? I don't know. I just lost contact. Etla board etla on cheyali? అది అసలు పోయింది మధ్యలో ఇది వచ్చింది. ఇది అసలు ఈ బొమ్మ వచ్చింది. ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ టు టేక్ ఇట్ అవుట్. నేను అట్లనే మాట్లాడుకున్నా అంతే. ఓ ఎస్ అదేనా? ఓ గాడ్. ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే. దెన్ హౌ డు యూ యూజ్ దిస్? Oh, this is good. So, primarily what happens is we were on biology. Okay. So, we had gone into different fields of biology. As of today, I think, yeah? Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, maybe I'll learn tomorrow. You put stop this as gonna yes, huh? Etla, how do you off it? Stop. ఇది ఎట్లనే పెట్టేయాలనా? ఇది ఎందుకంటే ఈవేళ ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాస్ అని చెప్పినారు.